Brothers and sisters in humanity, may I greet you with the Islamic greeting of peace. If you know the reply, please do reply loudly. The Muslims are not allowed to reply now because you know the reply. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with you. Peace be with you. Can you, the gentlemen, please, if you can kindly come forward, and the ladies, sisters, you're fine. I'm not going to tell you how to sit, otherwise Gabriel is going to put me in difficulty. Please, if you can kindly come forward, and then more of the people, more of our guests are going to join us. As I've said previously, we have tremendous weather today, unbelievable, and it's really nice. However, my son Ahmed, he's 10 and he's fasting, and normally he enjoys the day fasting. Today is the day he's actually not enjoying it, and he's reminding me all the time, I'm thirsty, I'm thirsty. But and I asked him, do you want to drink water and break the fast? You know, you're a small kid. And he said, no. So he's still there, very brave of him. Can we give Ahmed a hand, please? My name is Shaykh Umar al-Qadri. I am the head imam of the Al-Mustafa Islamic Centre. I welcome you all to our 3rd annual community Iftar. Every year, the Al-Mustafa Islamic Centre hosts members from all various different backgrounds, our brothers and sisters in humanity, to the Islamic Centre, where we share a meal, where we share the Iftar dinner. This month is the month of Ramadan. In the month of Ramadan, Muslims fast, because fasting is a pillar of Islam. It is the 5th pillar. In fact, it is the pillar of Islam that teaches Muslims to be more self-disciplined. It teaches them self-constraint. It teaches them also to be patient. And we as Muslims fast to thank God and to teach, to learn discipline. Those basic necessities that we usually eat and require every day, food, drink, we voluntarily give up for a few hours. Now these few hours can mean sometimes 12 hours, sometimes they can mean 19 hours, depending on where you are living. We have very long days in this part of the world. As Muslims, we start our fasting at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 a.m., and we actually break the fast, so we are allowed to eat then 10 o'clock in the evening, which makes it 19 hours a day. For those people who say, or who ask, are you allowed to have water? The answer is no. You're not allowed to have water either. So we are not allowed to have water either. And is it hard? It depends. The first days or 2 days may be hard, but then eventually our bodies get used to it, and most of the Muslims, those that are born Muslims particularly, they are born in a Muslim family, they are being trained from a young age to fast. The Al-Mustafa Islamic Centre hosts this community Iftar to reach out to our neighbors and to share our common humanity. 2 years ago, we held our first celebration, and we invited in it a Jewish Holocaust survivor, Tommy Reichenthal. Tommy Reichenthal, for the first time, visited a mosque in his life, and it was on the occasion of his 80th birthday. We celebrated his 80th birthday in Islamic Centre. The next year, we invited Tommy Reichenthal again, and Tommy Reichenthal joined us also. But not only did he join us, we extended the invitation to the larger community, and we particularly said we invite also the LGBT community. So they were invited also. And again, this is to reach out to all communities. This year, unfortunately, Tommy Reichenthal had a surgery a few months ago, and he's unwell. So he could not be with us here, but he has sent his best wishes. He has sent his best wishes to everyone. And the other thing is that this year, because of various different happenings in the world, particularly the last 3 months, even in UK alone, our neighbors, they've had 3 terror attacks. Not only that, in Iraq, in Kuwait, in the month of Ramadan, while Muslims are fasting, more than 100 Muslims were killed by extremists in Afghanistan. More than 70 Muslims were killed in Baghdad. These extremists that are killing innocent people, wherever it may be, whether it is London, it is France, it is Belgium, it is Syria, it is Iraq, and anywhere else, these extremists claim to commit these atrocities in the name of our religion, Islam. As Muslims, we are absolutely appalled and angry. How dare these people use our religion as a justification? Because there is no justification for their atrocities. Never. So we are appalled and angry. This year, the community iftar that we are organizing is particularly to pray together in peace. To pray together in peace for all the victims of extremism. And all forms of extremism. Extremism is not confined and limited to what is happening by ISIS. And I'll talk more about that in my talk later on. But we have about 50 minutes, so we have to kind of hurry. And let us start with the recitation of the Quran. I invite Shehzad Ashik. Shehzad Ashik is originally from Pakistan, and he is my university fellow. We studied together in Pakistan in the Minhaj al-Quran Islamic University, and he's living in Ireland for the past many months. In fact, I believe a year almost now. And he is going to recite parts of the Quran, and after that, he will also praise the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, which is a tradition among the Muslims, that whenever you recite the Quran, after that you sing a song, or a nasheed we call it, poetry, to praise the messengers of God, and particularly emphasis on the Prophet, the messenger of God, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and of course everyone else. So may I now invite on stage Brother Shehzad Ashik to come forward and please recite the Holy Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذ يرفع إبراهيم القواعد من البيت وإسماعيل ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم ربنا واجعلنا مسلمين لك ومن ذريتنا أمة مسلمة لك وأرنا مناسكنا وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم ربنا وابعث فيهم رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياتك ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة ويزكيهم إنك أنت العزيز الحكيم صدق الله مولانا العظيم اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد بلغ العلا بكماله بلغ العلا بكماله كشف الدجى بجماله حسن جميع خصاله حسن جميع خصاله صلوا عليه وآله اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم هو الحبيب الذي ترجى شفاعته 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 لكل حول من الأهوال متهم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم محمد سيد الكونين وثقلين محمد سيد الكونين وثقلين محمد سيد الكونين وثقلين محمد سيد الكونين وثقلين والفريقين من قرب ومن عجم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم يا ربي بالمصطفى بلغ مقاصدنا 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 واغفر لنا ما مضى يا واسع الكرم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم.
Thank you very much, Shaykh Shehzad Ashiq, who was in a very traditional way, first of all reciting the Quran, and after that he was praising the messengers of God. I'm going to give you a very quickly translation of what he recited from the Quran. He recited the verses of the Quran that talk about the reconstruction of the Kaaba, reconstruction of the house of God in Mecca. When Abraham, with his son Ishmael, reconstructed the house of God, after the completion of this task, they raised their hands to the Lord and they asked, "O our Lord, accept this service from us. O our Lord, make us among the believers, make us among the peacemakers, and O our Lord, if we have made any mistake, if we have any shortcoming, then kindly forgive these shortcomings." This is a summary of those verses that he recited. And then he praised the Prophet, peace be upon him, in a traditional way which is very common in Pakistan, particularly in India and Pakistan, which is that they sing poetry for the Prophet. And in that they say, for example, when the Prophet came in the city of Madinah where he migrated, he brought with him peace, he brought with him light, and wordings like that. Now, may I invite to speak to you my very, very respectful sister, Sister Julie, who is a good friend of mine, who I respect immensely, and who has always accepted the invitation of Al-Mustafa Islamic Centre. May I invite Sister Julie to please come forward and say a few words. And if after that, Sister Julie, if you don't mind, we really need some gender balance on the stage there. We really need some gender balance. If you'd like to please join us there. Thank you.
Good evening. It is my great honor and privilege to join you here on this great evening here, which is many times we have worked in the daily comings and goings of every day, but tonight we join you in prayer and in celebration. I'm Sister Julie. I'm a Catholic missionary. We have as our mission to this year, our mission especially is Together for a Reconciled World. And since the Vatican Council, dialogue with people of other religions and particularly with Muslims has become an integral part of our church's mission. The plan of salvation also includes those who acknowledge the Creator. In first place among these are the Muslims. These profess to hold the faith of Abraham, our great father, and together with us, they adore the one merciful God, mankind's judge on the last day. The Church's mission in dialogue with Muslims means that it wishes to promote mutual respect, understanding and cooperation between Muslims and Christians. This openness to interaction and cooperation reflects the gospel call to love one another as I have loved you. In the past few decades, Ireland has changed. There are now more than 50,000 Muslims living here in Dublin. Muslims are a permanent part of our community and are among our neighbours every day that we are called to live among and love. There are many places in the world where the relationship between Christians and Muslims is characterised by violence and injustice. This is not the case in Ireland. In addition, the historical, cultural and political baggage that often contributes to divisions between the two faiths does not exist here in Ireland. Therefore, the effort to build positive relationships between Muslims and Christians in Ireland has a real change of success and could provide a positive example of tolerance and cooperation to be followed by other parts of the world. Interreligious and intercultural dialogue between Christians and Muslims cannot be reduced to an optimal extra. It is in fact a vital necessity on which in large measure our future as human beings depends. Muslims and Christians together make up over half of the world's population. Without peace and justice between these two religious communities, there can be no meaningful peace in our world today. The future of the world depends on peace between Muslims and Christians. Each member of us, even down to the smallest child this evening here, of the faithful and all Christian communities, are called on to practice dialogue. Although not always in the same degree, each of us in our own way has a part to play in bringing about a just society in which we can, faithful to our beliefs, live as good neighbours with people of other religions. This is part of the mission we Christians too are called to. I am so happy to be here for this short time this evening, and I wonder will the media report that Muslim man in the Philippines who sheltered 70 Christians last week. The good story doesn't seem to reach our media, so we are here to tell the story, to tell you that we are proud to be your sisters and your brothers, and we are happy to live with you together in peace and harmony. May you have a wonderful celebration this evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sister Julie. Really appreciate your kind words. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, may I invite Reverend Mayoso to please come forward from Zen Buddhism Ireland to speak to you. The Reverend has been with us, has been accepting the invitation always. Last 2 years, he was here with us on the community Iftar, and I've actually been invited by him to speak to his congregation. And it was amazing because we had, I believe, a session which lasted 1.5 hours, where there were loads of questions from various different members from his congregations about Islam and about Muslims. It was a really interesting time. So without further ado, may I please invite the Reverend to come and speak to you.
Thank you very much. I'm so short. Can you see me? I'm just not a very tall man, not like this fine sheikh you have here. I'd like to thank the sheikh for his and all of you, the community here, for this invitation to join you in Iftar tonight. I'm very privileged to be here for the third year in a row, and it was our great pleasure to invite the sheikh back a number of months ago, where he sat in silence with us in our meditation hall, and sat with great tolerance as we had our Buddhist service, and then he addressed the Sangha, what we call the community of Buddhist followers, the Sangha, and many questions about Islam, which the Sheikh answered with great patience and great eloquence and with great insight. And I think the Sheikh had some interesting questions for us as Buddhists as well. The thing about extremism is that there's no real thing as Islamic extremism. It doesn't really exist. And in fact, Buddhist extremism doesn't really exist in the true sense either, or Christian extremism, or Jewish extremism, because this is as the Sheikh has mentioned, this is a dishonest hijacking of our noble traditions and of our noble faith traditions. And indeed, the Buddhist community in the world has a problem with this as well, because if any of you are familiar with what's happening in Burma, in Myanmar, where the Muslim minority are being persecuted by the Buddhist majority, and indeed it's to the point of genocide, I think it is fair to say. I think the United Nations has observed this. So when Zen Buddhism Ireland invited the Sheikh to join us, we also invited representatives of the Myanmar embassy to come and to face our questions as Buddhists, why this genocide was being unacknowledged and perpetrated in the name of Buddhism in Burma. As you could imagine, nobody took up our invitation except the Sheikh. So I think to say that this is Buddhist extremism is not true. Just as the acts that we saw in London and in France, and the acts that we see in the bombs dropped on innocent Muslims in other countries, these are not, acts of Christians, and this murder is not acts of Muslims. So. I think by the way, when I heard the Sheikh sing from the Quran, I don't understand the language that he uses, and I don't understand the words, but the truth and beauty and soul and the blessedness of what is being uttered is immediately apparent. It is immediately communicated to the soul and to the heart, listening to those words being sung. And you know that the truth and the resonance and is sounding in those words, in that poetry. So thank you for that. It is more important than ever before that we come together in solidarity from the various faith traditions. The problems that are facing us as common humanity cannot be addressed if we do not stand together. And do not think that what you do does not matter, because everything you do matters. In the culture we live in now, we're encouraged to believe that we are powerless. There are so many problems in the world. There's poverty, there's homelessness, there's conflicts, there's the environmental catastrophe that is unfolding. And in the face of all these problems, we can feel paralyzed and powerless. But no, we have real power. Every time that we offer the hand of friendship to another person, this changes the world. This changes everything. And just as every conflict is made up of individual actions of violence and aggression and misunderstanding, so is every coming together in peace. So it takes 1,000 twigs to make a fire, a violent fire. Each one makes the fire. And it takes uncounted drops of water to make an ocean. So everything matters. And everything you do matters. And you are empowered in your acts of kindness and when you offer the hand of friendship. And it does make a difference. So it is very important that we come together here. I just want to finish with a blessing from the Buddhist tradition. These are the words of the founder of my religious tradition, Shakyamuni Buddha, from 2,600 years ago. And this is the Metta Sutra. It's very short. Metta means loving kindness, kindness and love. And I forgot my reading glasses, I just realized now. Oh well, let me try this. This is what should be accomplished by the one who is wise, who seeks the good and has obtained peace. Let one be strenuous, upright and sincere, without pride, easily contented and joyous. Let one not be submerged by the things of the world. Let one not take upon oneself the burden of riches. Let one's senses be controlled. Let one be wise, but not puffed up, and let one not desire great possessions, even for one's family. Let one do nothing that is mean or that the wise would reprove. May all beings be happy. May they be joyous and live in safety. All living beings, whether weak or strong, in high or middle or low realms of existence, small or great, visible or invisible, near or far, born or to be born, may all beings be happy. Let no one deceive another, nor despise any being in any state. Let none by anger or hatred wish harm to another. Even as a mother, at the risk of her life, watches over and protects her only child, so with a boundless mind should one cherish all living things, suffusing love over the entire world, above, below, and all around, without limit. So let one cultivate an infinite goodwill towards the whole world. Standing or walking, sitting or lying down, during all one's waking hours, let one practice the way with gratitude, not holding to fixed views, endowed with insight, freed from sense appetites. One who achieves the way will be freed from the duality of birth and death. May all beings be happy.
Thank you very much, Reverend Mike, for your very kind and wise words. may I invite Father Joe Coyne from our local parish here to speak to you on behalf of the Catholic community, Christian community, and also the Archbishop of the Catholic Church, David Martin, Most Reverend David Martin, has sent us a special message on the 3rd annual community Iftar. Unfortunately, due to his other commitment, prior commitment, he was unable to be with us here. But I would like to request Father Joe Coyne to say a few words, and also, if you kindly would like to read the statement from the Most Reverend David Martin, Archbishop of Dublin. Thank you very much.
The last few months, maybe the last month particularly, to acknowledge what the Shaykh has been doing, Shaykh Umar al-Qadri, has been so important in our country, acknowledging the truth of life and the importance of respect and reconciliation. That voice needs to constantly be heard, and please hear it tonight from him and from our two previous speakers. Centrality of reconciliation, that lovely blessing we've just heard, but love and respect for all things. A very basic Christian instinct is the basic goodness of all things. The basic goodness of all things. That means your goodness, my goodness, everything and everybody. And awareness of that, of course, is internal. It's from within ourselves. We have the great sense of connection with each other. And of course, if we have that from our religious faith of any faith, naturally enough then, we're not going to feel separated from each other or separated from God. The divine being going to recognize that we are within the divine being. We're not God, but we're within the divine being. Of course, that's an extraordinary realization. And of course it does then call for gratitude, use your word, gratitude. Genuine sense of a mystery of love and care to the divine reality that we're drawn into. And of course, the more we have of that, the more respectful and loving we are towards all people, because we don't see people as different. We're all within the heart of the divine reality of God. We're all in the heart of God. Obviously then we're linked and interconnected. And we know from the science how all reality, even at the molecular level, is so intimately connected together from all time and places. So tonight we're acknowledging that by being together from different religious traditions, and particular welcome to the Muslim tradition to your mosque here tonight on this significant event in your Ramadan celebrations. So thank you first of all for inviting me, and want to wish you well, and we will all have that inner sense of who we are. Something of the divine in every single person, in every single object. And then there's no duality, there's no division, there's a oneness. And that desire for oneness is of course the secret of lasting peace. And then every act, every thought, every act, every desire is then connecting and connected and drawing us into the heart of our deepest reality, which is in God. So happy to read our piece from Archbishop Martin. Dear sisters and brothers, I'd hoped to join you at the 3rd annual community Iftar for Peace and Unity 2017, but it will not be possible. Instead, I offer these few words by way of encouragement and support. The God that we Muslims and Christians worship is a God who unites and wishes that the entire human family, in the midst of the difference of language and culture and religion, can communicate, not just in words, he says, but in the deeper sharing of what we have in common and what we hold dear. Sentence. Religious faith can never be invoked as a reason to discriminate, much less than to resort to violence or intolerance. Your event has among it the most fundamental aims, that of breaking down barriers of communication and of building fruitful interaction between people of different faiths. Our understanding of our common home and our common concern for humanity and the environment is nurtured through the religious insights and blessings that flow from fasting, prayer and good works that are a mark of Ramadan. May the one God who is merciful and full of compassion sustain all of us on the path of peace and goodness, of mutual understanding and common responsibility to care for all the members of the human family and for the whole of creation. The final word, compassion for each other and for life that he wishes us. We share in that, and I join in his blessing and his wish now on this night and through the rest of Ramadan. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Father Joe Coyne, for your blessing and also for reading the message from the Most Reverend David Martin, Archbishop of Dublin. Ladies and gentlemen, without ado, may I now invite our next speaker, our guest, the Honorable Ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, Dr. Sayyid Rizwan Ahmed, to please come forward and say a few words to our gathering. Please welcome Ambassador of Pakistan.
Very good evening to our guests here. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity and for inviting me for this unique religious event where we are seeing people, the representatives from all faith are here, and also all faiths are here, and also the Muslim community, mostly Pakistanis. It is a great pleasure for me to be here and talk to you. And I must admire the efforts of Dr. Umar, that he has organized such a great, he had been in fact organizing these type of events with quite succession, and which is I think very important, and it is very useful that he has been organizing it, and I wish more mosques would be organizing such events, because this particular event especially is reflective of the true spirit of our Muslim faith, of acceptance of all on equal footing. So I hope this is done more, but as Dr. Umar has already started it, I'm sure it may not immediately start everywhere, but with slow and steady, I think the pace will be picked up in other mosques as well. With regard to faith, I think my earlier speakers were in a better position and spoke with greater authenticity on these matters. But I will talk about from the perspective of the community, because that is my area especially. I would say here that, first of all, we have the instinct to talk about our rights first. I think it is very important that we first talk about our responsibilities, because our responsibilities give us those rights. It is very important that we first acknowledge our responsibilities, we fulfill it, try to do it better. And then I think there will not be a need ever to demand our rights, because the rights will flow, because other people and whosoever are in a position, governments or societies, they have in a position to give rights, will give automatically. Rather, in case of Ireland, I have to accept, and I think it is true for most European countries as well, that the societies and the governments are forthcoming and they are upfront in giving rights first. But I think as a community, as a Muslim community, we should try to focus on our responsibilities first. It is very important for a Muslim community, for a Pakistani community to integrate well in wherever they are in Europe. If they are in Ireland, it is their responsibility that they integrate well, accept all the human values, all the values of services, and try to give more. As we know, on any part of this planet Earth, people have migrated. People, as the religious scriptures tell us, that they all migrated. Some say from maybe from the Babylon, the others say from the maybe Levant, maybe from Jerusalem, from those parts of the world. The anthropologists say that maybe they came from Africa, maybe Eastern Africa. All human race, they moved from there. But it is true that people, indeed, all the places that we see inhabited, basically are inhabited by migrants. But apart from that, we have, but new migrants have greater responsibility. New migrants have greater responsibility. As Muslim community in Ireland, we and Muslims in Ireland, they must acknowledge that they have been treated very humanely, compassionately, and very, very courteously and kindly. So we have to see how we can return. So we must return, try to return. We don't know whether we all have our limited capacities, but our job is to try to return more than we got. So with this message, I will end my small talk here, and I thank you very much for listening to me patiently. Thank you very much.
Allah. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله محمد
اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت سيدنا محمد الوسيلة والفضيلة والدرجة الرفيعة وبعث المقام محمودا الذي وعدته وارزقنا شفاعته يوم القيامة إنك لا تخلف الميعاد اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Can I ask all of the brothers for the salat to come forward, please? Brothers, we are only supposed to have the tamar now, the khajur. खाना बाद में है, आप लोग पहले खाना शुरू हो गए हैं. वरना बाद में थोड़ा सब्र करना प्लीज। सिस्टर्स सलात के लिए, नमाज के लिए ऊपर तशरीफ ले जाएं। If your sisters can go upstairs for salat, please.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل ألم يجعل كيدهم في تضليل وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل ترميهم بحجارة من سجيل فجعلهم كعصف مأكول. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله
آمين. اللهم صل على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا ومولانا محمد وبارك وسلم وصل عليه. اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم إنك عفو كريم تحب العفو فاعف عنا يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين. Ya Allah, please accept our fasting of today. Ya Allah, please accept our worshipping and ibadah of today. Ya Allah, for each and every step we took towards your house, Ya Allah, please grant us a reward from your unlimited treasures. And Ya Allah, please forgive our shortcomings. Ya Allah, we ask you in the blessed month of Ramadan, Ya Allah, in this blessed 23rd night of Ramadan, those that are ill from our family members, relatives, friends, neighbors, Ya Allah, Ya Arhamar Rahimin, grant them all health and shifa. Ya Allah, grant them shifa, Ya Allah. Those that are in difficulty, Ya Allah, remove the difficulty. Wherever mankind is suffering, Ya Allah, Ya Arhamar Rahimin, remove the suffering. Ya Allah, especially the brothers and sisters that throughout the world, Ya Allah, are being persecuted because of their faith, or that are being targeted by state terrorism, by extremism. Ya Allah, Ya Arhamar Rahim, are being killed by the drone attacks. Innocent people are being killed, Ya Allah, by extremists. We ask you, Ya Allah, those that have become victims of their extremist attacks, to grant them all Jannah, Ya Allah. Grant them all forgiveness, Ya Allah. And Ya Allah, Ya Arhamar Rahimin, give the family members, Ya Allah, patience. And Ya Allah, Ya Arhamar Rahimin, change the hearts of these people that are extremists and turn them into compassion, Ya Allah. Turn them into merciful people, Ya Allah. And Ya Allah, Ya Arhamar Rahimin, unite the Ummah, Ya Allah. Unite mankind, Ya Allah, for peace, Ya Allah. وصلى الله تعالى على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. You may inshallah perform the sunnahs. After the sunnahs, if you can kindly all sit down for the dinner, but do not start the dinner yet. While the brothers are going to bring the food, please remain seated. There are a few messages that we have to inshallah convey to all of you. Jazakumullah.
Yeah.